Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world of Acala. Where's my intro? There we go. You are watching Home Away from Hell, our very first Patreon one-shot. I'm your Dungeon Master, The Batch, and today I have a very special guest with me. He was our very first Patreon supporter and is currently our only Hobgoblin Warlord, our highest tier on Patreon. Everyone, please welcome Throw the Dwarf. Say hi.
Hello everyone, it is your friendly neighborhood Throw the Dwarf from Australia.
Everyone finally gets to hear what he sounds like. Alright, so
I quickly want to give a special shout out to Timo in the chat, who is basically the only person I talked to in the episode discussion part of the place, along with you, of course.
right.
We have a great, wonderful time in the episode. Me and Timo discussing episodes and ideas.
Lots of theories going on around in there. In the chat, we've got Sir Little Wolf and the George said, my nephew Tyler from my home game, and Rachel O'Daniels, and Brandon Worrell. Thank you everyone for joining. So, let me give everyone a little bit of background on what will be happening in tonight's session. The cosmology of Acala isn't a topic I've covered much on the channel, but I say this a lot. I'll be putting out a video soon covering it. That is definitely coming. But like other settings, Acala has heavenly planes and hellish planes of existence, places where the gods reside and souls go to in the afterlife. One of the hellish planes is called Infernus. Infernus is the planar home of the devils and their leaders, the archdevils. It consists of 9 circles, which are actually concentric spheres, with the first circle on the outside going all the way down to the 9th circle, where the Prince of Hell, Asmodeus, rules over Infernus from his literal and metaphorical throne. In the last few decades, prior to, current events of, my home game and of Ice Cold Freedom, in the last few decades, devils have begun making pacts with mortals for the souls of their unborn children in exchange for great power. These children were the first tieflings. They were taken shortly after birth and raised in Infernus. Decades later, for currently unknown reasons, portals appeared in front of each and every tiefling. Many chose to venture through the portals, which took them to the immortal plane and then closed behind them. Tonight, Throw the Dwarf is playing Jack, a tiefling born of a pact between his parents and Asmodeus. He's been on the mortal plane for a couple of months now, and after facing some discrimination and rejection for looking like the devils that love to torture the innocent, which he does not, to be clear, he's banded together with a group of other tieflings looking for a place of their own to call home. They think they've found it in the abandoned elven city of Ravenhill in the kingdom of Caphelion. That might not sound familiar to most of the viewers, but it will sound familiar to any of my home game players who are watching. Caphelion is one of the kingdoms on High Willowbard, which I refer to as the Southlands and Ice Cold Freedom. It's that big place right to the south of Enuberon. The year is 140 in the era of Enlightenment, and in terms of Ice Cold Freedom timeline, it's 1900 in the time of ice, which is almost 6 years after the events of Ice Cold Freedom. So we're in the future, so to speak. And it's been 5 years since Ravenhill was wiped out by the Shadow Drow during the Scourge of Shadow, my first home game campaign. Jack, Ebron the Mage, and Atari the Rogue, and the rest of their group have arrived at the gates of Ravenhill, ready to make it their home away from hell. Okay, got through that. Alrighty. So, is everybody excited? I know I'm excited.
I want to apologise to anyone that's atting me in the chat. I'm literally on my phone, so if you are atting me in the chat and I'm not responding, I'm not being rude. I literally fear that I'm going to crash everything
Yeah.
if I have too much open on my smartphone. Oh, by the way,
So,
Jord, addressing you, Yuki is a winter wolf. You've told. You've called her a dog so many times, and I'm just like, ah.
yes, Luna and Yuki are the NPCs that Throw the Dwarf created. That is one of the perks you can get for being a Bugbear Chief or a Hobgoblin Warlord. I will put an NPC into whatever game is going on at the time. Right now, it's Ice Cold Freedom, with the name and personality that you choose. I will say I gave Throw the Dwarf a little bit more latitude because he was our first patron, and I wanted to be super generous. So it doesn't come with the art that he got for Luna and Yuki. He got that himself. But yes, that is a perk that comes with both of those tiers if you choose to support us. Link in the description. And I forgot to update the Streamlabs bot so that they're going to give the wrong link for Patreon. You want to go to the one. Actually, I don't even know. Did I fix it in the description? I might not have fixed it in the description now that I think about it. I know I can edit this on the fly. No, I didn't fix it in the description. I am doing so now. But it's patreon.com/World of Acala. It used to be /Goblins and Goblins. It's now /World of Acala, just to reflect, everything. You're supporting more than just Goblins and Goblins with this. But today is, like I said before, it's our first Patreon one-shot. This is a perk you get with the Hobgoblin Warlord tier, which is currently at a low price of $20 a month instead of $30, which I originally had it at. There are 4 more slots available to get at $20 if you're interested. So you can get a one-on-one session with me, either stream live or I can help teach you the game, whatever you want. 60-minute session. Now, this is 2 hours because I'm stupid and I wasn't able to get Throw the Dwarf's June session in, so we're doubling up.
Oh, you're not stupid. Just things happened during that month that ended it being not. We probably should have organized it a lot sooner, honestly.
Yeah,
but
I had a lot of stuff going on, and that was kind of why that happened. But I'm trying to make it up to you now. But we got Charisma in the chat, Lord Illuminous, who have also joined us. So thank you very much, guys. Alrighty, my Discord keeps dinging. Who is talking in Discord? Okay, I'll close that. So as you can see, hold on, I should probably pop that out so people can see it better. There we go. As you can see, Jack, Ebron, and Atari and their group of tieflings have arrived at Revan Hill. I'll pan over on the map so you can see where the front gates are. It's big. Oh, this map I got from it. I put it in the description in case I forgot to mention it. Excuse me. This map I found. It's by I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Gogods on DeviantArt. It's called the City of Morkalith is the name of the piece. I'm using it for Revenhill, obviously, but I just wanted to mention that because this is amazing and just putting it up for people to use. So that's awesome. But yeah, definitely crediting him on that one. Or them. Sorry, I say him. Them. Crediting them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting far from the point. But as you can see, they're just up to the gates. I'll zoom out so you can see the entire city. Walls going around it. This is actually located a bit south of the capital of Cathelion along their one of their main rivers. But this is right at a spot where it thins out, so they can build around and take advantage of that. But this has been abandoned for 5 years. All right. So, Chris, which is Throw the Dwarf's actual first name, Chris, as you and your group arrive, you and Atari has done the recon on this city to find out that it is and has been abandoned. So you're not invading someone else's home. You're taking over a city that's been abandoned. So you arrive, and one of the things you notice, it obviously has this, abandoned ghost town feeling, but there you feel sort of, I want to say an energy, but it's more like the air here feels heavier than before you got to this part of the road. And these two little buildings out front, which usually be like a wagon house, something like that. There's a lot of the wall and the buildings and everything are. There's some destruction. It was not total destruction because they were attacked, like I said, by the drow. But you notice this building here, the inside is covered in just like broken pieces of wood, as if somebody went in and just started destroying everything that's in there. Not something that would typically be expected if they're just coming in to kill the people and take their stuff. But given that it's been abandoned for 5 years, who knows? So
yeah, it's kind of almost to be expected that people have tried to come back, and that there would be some sort of destruction after the fact.
So I'll move your token here on Roll20 since I know you're doing it from your phone.
Cool.
So do you venture forth? Go ahead.
I got, instead of left and right, I'm just going to use north, south, east, and west.
Works for me.
Yeah.
That actually is that's accurate to the map because this river goes from north to south, so it works.
Well, I was going to say north from wherever my character was, and hopefully we're not going to have too much trouble. Cool.
So, do you venture forth into the city?
Who is the leader of our little group of tieflings here?
You, of course.
Oh, cool. Just I wanted to. Okay. I want to turn around to everyone and almost make a little speech of this is for every tiefling that has had racism, or I had this speech and now it's gone. Every tiefling, this is going to be the home for our tiefling, so we need everyone to stay safe and stay sharp to make sure this place is safe for everyone. And I'm going to assign some lookouts before the main party go, and then I will venture forth to the gate, which to me is east. No, it's not.
It's west. It's west.
Yes. Wait a second. Where is the north thing on the map? Oh, this is gonna be fun. So are those three going to be left behind, or did they just not get?
Yeah, they're gonna be the lookouts. I'm gonna move them and leave them by the gates. I just want to separate them.
Cool.
I cannot see my cursor for anything.
Nope.
So there are 2 gates. I don't know if you can zoom out on your end and see it, but Chrismer said, "Oh, what a rousing speech." Um, there are two gates on either side of the river. um, are you gonna enter the one nearest? Are you gonna split up? What are you gonna do?
How damaged does the bridge look?
The bridge right now looks okay. Looks like you could walk across it safely.
Splitting the party is never a good idea. We're all going to stay together because splitting the party is never ever a good idea. Yeah, that's the way I wanted to go.
Alright, works for me. And I'll leave a lookout on this end. Just probably do two. That makes more sense. If you want to leave some lookouts, let me grab one more. All right. Obviously, you're not climbing on top of the walls here. I'm just moving them in for.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
As you head in, you see that the walls are damaged. They're not damaged beyond repair. So with some time and some love, you could get the walls back to the condition they need to be. There's another there's another little bridge that goes across the river right to your left, to your west. And as you go through a lot of the buildings, having been abandoned for 5 years and having suffered an attack by the drow, there's some damage to them. They don't look decrepit. They look like you could easily repair them. There are plenty of houses. The roofs are still intact, so if you were going to go in there to sleep for the night, you'd be fine. It looks like it wouldn't take too much effort on your group's part to get this city back up and running in a matter of a month or two. If you could recruit others, it would be faster. But it looks like you could get this as you walk down the streets of the city. Now the wheels in the river that look like they're for the mills here. They're going to require a little bit more work because some of a lot of the wood is rotted, and the wood they're not turning because the wood on the bottom is broken up enough to where the water isn't actually hitting the wheel to turn it. Any of them. The big wheel up at the top. It isn't moving either, but not from damage. It's more from not from damage to the wheel itself. It's more from damage to the axle that turns it, so it can't really turn. So it's kind of just sitting there in the water. So those you would have to put some work in to get up and operational. And as you walk down the street of Ravenhill, that sensation I mentioned of the air feeling heavier kind of starts to get that feeling starts to get a little worse. Air starts to feel a little more heavier, like there's just a strange pressure around you as you get farther and farther to the north in the city. So Jack, what are you particularly interested in? Obviously, you and Ebron and Atari, you're gonna delegate. Who's gonna do what, who's gonna go where. Obviously, you want everyone to go around and inspect what's there. What are you particularly interested in checking out in Ravenhill right now? Hi, Pancake of Destiny.
My first thought of what we would be looking for from assigning people would be a forge. Because if we have a working forge in the city, then everything will be made easier.
See if I can find a building here that looks like it's already set up for something like that. Looks like the building you just passed is kind of like a tavern.
Yep.
You could probably, choose either one of these buildings right along the river to work for the forge, because you also have, once the water wheels are up and running, you'll be able to use that to help with whatever you're doing in there.
Okay.
Do I have a text tool? I have a text tool. Oh, that's tiny text. Can I make that bigger? That's what she said. Oh, there we go.
Did you put something on the map?
Yeah, it's being stupid. Hold on. It got small again. What the heck? Also, that's also what she said. Oh, that's way too big. Okay. All right. So, which building do you think you want to make the forge? You got 4 of them going along either side of the river there. There are 3. My bad. Actually, the one down there is just one big building.
Yeah, it's huge. That one's quite big. The one it's in, for placement wise, because we'll be running lots of things to it, I think where you put it is actually probably the best place for it.
Okay. All right. So as you're in this building, looking around, seeing if it'll work for the forge, a strange breeze goes through the building in a way that doesn't seem like it makes sense. Like, it's not coming from the door or any of the windows. It's kind of like just it's at a weird angle. Like, you don't know how that breeze would have gone through, but it's a gentle breeze, but noticeable, and it seems kind of odd.
Do we have any mages in our group?
Yep, Ebron is a mage.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to him and tell him about the strange feeling that I've been feeling, and
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes, I have felt that too, and some of the others have told me they felt it as well. It might just be the construction of the area increasing some air pressure. It does seem very strange. How did that building look for the forge?
The placement looks absolutely divine, because it's a straight path from the road right to this building, and with the water wheel and the river right next to it, it'd be excellent for it.
Did you did you tell him about the breeze that you felt, or did you let that go?
Yes, yeah, I did tell him about the strange the breeze. I'm not sure how far detect magic goes, but I would ask him at this point to maybe or if he has a magical familiar. If he has a magical familiar to
He
just
does not
send
have
it.
a familiar. He doesn't have a familiar.
Right.
Let me check. I want to bring up the
Does he have to detect magic?
Yeah, let me just bring it up real quick. See. Okay. So Ebron goes into what is going to now be the forge, um, and he meditates for a moment to um, sense any kind of magical or arcane influences, and he doesn't notice any. And he tells you that he says, I can't find anything.
Range. But let's not dismiss it, because who knows what could be in this city after all this time.
Right, right.
I'm actually going to turn to everyone, and like, it may feel, even if it's silly, and you feel like I'm going to berate you, tell me about the things that you're feeling in the city, because we may not be alone after in here. It's better to be safe than sorry.
We get some creepy music going in the background for that one. So do you want everyone to start, finding a place to settle in?
No one should go alone. At least needs to be in pair. No one's to go alone. Everyone needs to go in at least pairs and make sure yeah,
We're gonna do the buddy system.
yes, do the buddy system.
Alright, we'll start moving some of these tokens around to the smaller buildings, or even some of the bigger buildings. That's a good one. Gonna get a nice group that's gonna hold up in this tavern here. And the bridges going across the river, they do look a little weathered, but they look relatively safe. Let's see. Oops.
Well, those two are game.
What's that?
Oh, those three are game. The three you sent over there are pretty game. We haven't even looked in there. I'm going to berate those three later.
Well, just trying to spread them out, get them.
Yeah.
All right. So you spend the day settling in, finding everyone finding where they want to stay for the night, um, gathering resources, rations, things like that, making sure that you'll be good to go in the morning. Um, we got the lookouts out there. We'll have people like taking turns. I'm not going to keep shuffling around these tokens. These are all just generic tieflings. But we'll have people, taking turns throughout the night, keeping watch out on the front there.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, where would you? Do you think you would? Do you think you would go to sleep? Do you think you would stay up the night? Do you? Um, would you? If you did go to sleep, do you think you would stay? By you, I just mean you, Jack. Do you think you would you stay alone? Would you stay with Atari and Ebron? What would you do?
Yeah, since we're quite since we're split up so far, I'm going to turn to Atari and Ebron, um, and assign them to different air, like the area to the west of Jack has a lot of tieflings. I'll assign one person to that area with those tieflings. I would probably take the tavern, and the last one would be up the north east, with the other 4 up in this corner.
There's
So
2 over
basic,
there in the northeast. That building off to the corner there. There's two
yeah.
people.
Well, there's two, and then down from them is another extra 2.
Oh wow. Okay, I forgot about them. So where would you go? Did you say you would take the tavern?
Yeah.
All right.
That might be a mistake, but I do feel that having our fighters near everyone has now got at least 1 fighter if stuff happens.
Okay. So the night starts off peaceful. Sun goes down. It's dark. People go to sleep. And then let's see, if you're by the tavern, you Jack, you hear a faint screaming sound coming from the northeast.
Well, uh, I'm going to tell people in tavern to lock the door and hunker down, and then I'm going to go to the northeast then.
Okay. It's the middle of the night. I should be more clear on that one. So as you head over, you see Ebron is making his way into the house to see what's going on. And I gotta move and zoom in. There we go. Earbuds not listening to my ears. Actually, he would be around here, wherever the door is. All right, so the 2 of you run in. One of the tieflings, you have a man and a woman. The woman is basically screaming, and the man is on the floor. He's bleeding from his head, and there's blood on a table in the room. And the female tiefling sees the 2 of you, and runs over to the door, and kind of starts in like a panicked voice. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we were sleeping, and then I heard a loud bang, and I woke up, and he was dead on the floor. And I can't really do a panicked voice very well right now, but she's freaking out. What do you do? Hello?
Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry, I was just thinking for a second.
That's okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure we didn't get dropped.
No. It's right. A bang table. First thing I need to look at is the floorboards, because maybe in the middle of the night he got off to use the privy or the toilet, and maybe a floorboard snapped and then he hit his head. Let's not just assume this was not just a random accident.
Yeah, the floorboards look fine, other than a little bit of weathering here and there. Nothing's cracked, nothing's snapped. I'll have you roll, since I assume you're looking around the room. I'll have you give me an investigation check. Now, can you use the dice roller on Roll20 or on D&D Beyond? Either one's fine with me.
DOS. Yep, I can use a DOS roller.
Okay. All right, so we want a D20 roll, which I assume you already knew. Your investigation, you have a +0 to investigation, so 17. That's good enough for me. You notice that not only is there blood on the corner of the table that he's lying next to, there's some about 6 feet up the wall next to the table, as if him hitting the table wasn't the only thing that happened.
Yeah, up the wall, which means that's corroded. Right, I'm gonna check the body for slashes.
No slashes, but you notice 2 wounds on his head instead of just one. It's as if he got thrown against the wall, fell, and hit his head on the table.
Okay, this is not right.
And you hear Ebron say, "Hey, Jack. I just felt a really strange breeze coming through here." Cat me on it.
Well, right. I'm not sure what we should do. The only thing what I'm thinking is that then again, my sword would be pinging at me if there was an invisible enemy in the room, wouldn't it?
If there was an invisible enemy with you right now, yes, it would be. But has it got like a 30-foot range? Oh, I should point out, Ebron's by the doorway. He's not in the building with you. He's by the doorway.
I might look because of 30 foot. How many squares would that be?
6.
Yeah, even if there's someone right next to him, next to him, because the squares are 1 foot by 1 foot, aren't they?
No, they're 5. They're 5-foot squares.
Or 5.
Yeah.
If I'm in the building, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that's quite a radius. Okay, not normally this indecisive.
Have you gone to... Are you still in the building, or did you go over next to Ebron?
Yeah, I'm gonna tape the female's hand, and then I'm gonna lead her to Ebron, because I'm not leaving her there.
So simultaneously, your sword... Jack wields a great sword of warning, which can alert him to threats nearby, any kind of creatures nearby that might be unseen. Gives him kind of like a little, sort of like a ping in his head. So simultaneously, your sword does ping you, and the boxes, the crates that are up to like the very shortly to the northwest of where you are. I gotta scroll down on here. Yeah, so if any for those watching right about here, one of those crates moves.
I'm going to point Ebron to the crate, then I'm going to draw my sword, and then I'm going to tell the woman to keep behind both of us, but not too close behind. I'd say for this within, I gotta say 2 squares at least. And then I'm going to go investigate those crates.
Okay. So the one that moved, if you try to open the top of the crate and look in, there's nobody in it, and there's just some kind of like really old. These crates had some like the grain and stuff in them. It's pretty old, but there's no creatures in the crates. And your sword starts pinging again, and you hear a whisper behind you, "Leave this place."
Oh wow. I'm gonna spin around to see if I can find the source of the voice.
Yeah, no, there's nobody there. And the female tiefling, she says, "Did you hear that?"
Oh yes, we definitely heard that.
And after a couple seconds, your sword stops pinging you.
Now, what kind of creature could be? Yeah, that's strange. Well, I got to Ebron and it's like we're gonna have to all hunker to one in one area while we figure out what this threat is. So I'm gonna my next
Right.
course of action is to round up every tiefling into the tavern while we sort this out.
And do you and Ebron take this tiefling's body? Or do you leave it there?
I think we'll come back for it. It's more important. It's more important we spend the time gathering those people still alive to the tavern.
Well, his partner, this female tiefling, isn't all too happy with that. She really wants you to take him back with you. She doesn't want to leave him behind.
I honestly, Jax feels for her, and I feel for her, and I'm gonna put a hand on on her shoulder, and say, if someone else may die because we're carrying around your partner's body, and I don't think he would want that. We will come for his body after we get the other tiefling safe.
She takes a deep breath and says, "Okay." So let's get you want where do you want everyone to gather?
Yeah, let's put them all in the tavern.
Okay. Even the lookouts?
Yeah, because uh, what I'm thinking is that this is either an invisible enemy or some sort of ghostly specter that can turn invisible.
And when you are thinking about it, and the thought of a ghost or a specter pops into your head, the clues start to make sense.
Okay.
And as everyone gathers in the tavern, this is still, mind you, the middle of the night. Thankfully, tieflings have dark vision, so you can see, just not in color. As everyone gathers in the tavern. Oh, I should probably move the map for the audience instead of just mine on the back end. Okay, there we go. Let's bring her down here. And the other tieflings are with her, consoling her over her loss. And Jack. All right, got everybody here. And after you gather for a little bit, I imagine you explain to them what happened and what's going on. A very very strong wind rushes through the tavern, and your sword starts pinging you like crazy.
Well, heads up. I'm gonna tell people and the party, and I'm gonna draw the sword as like I know it's within 30 foot, isn't at my sword. So within 30, there's enemies with an enemy within 30 feet of me.
One of the tieflings in the tavern gets, by what looks like an unseen force, gets thrown against the wall. He lets out a bit of a scream of pain and falls to the floor. He's conscious, but he's kind of hurt. A couple others rush over to him to check on him, and then one by one they all start getting. All the ones in that little area start getting thrown either to the ground or into the other tieflings. And it looks like this is coming from right here where this guy's standing as he gets knocked down. So right here, if you can see the little circle popping out.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where it seems to be coming from. Even though there's nobody there. Oh, it looks like there's nobody there, I should say.
Well, let's try this. Where I think it is, I'm just gonna slash with my greatsword through that area to see if that does anything.
All right. Roll me an attack with disadvantage because you can't see it. So it's going to be 2d20 rolls, and we'll take the lowest. And you have a +6. That's a critical fail. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get nothing but air on that slash, and then these tieflings over here start getting thrown around. Seems like it's emanating.
Oh no! I've pressed something weird. Hang a second.
It seems like it's emanating from this point right here where I'm popping the circle out from.
Yeah, that's fine.
You remember, you also have Anatari and Ebron. Ebron, if you go to your extras on your character sheet, they're listed right there. It'll tell you everything they can do.
Okay, let's see.
Ebron has he has light, mage hand, firebolt, burning hands, shield, sleep, and invisibility. Firebolt might come in handy if everybody ducks.
Yeah, but I'd rather not him put a fireball in the middle of every tiefling. Then again, we all have fire resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, if you shout for everyone to duck, I won't, I'm not going to say, oh, it hits this person. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of DM. But you've got you with your greatsword. Anatari, I think, is...
Cool.
She got a short sword, a dagger, and a short bow. And she's got some roguish stuff, like she can actually use the help action as a bonus action, which I forgot about. So if you want her to use that, she can shout to you, point out where she thinks it's coming from. That'll cancel your disadvantage since you both have an idea where it is. So it would just be a regular hit.
Yeah, well, that sounds good to me.
Okay. So roll me a d20 as she runs in and points out. I think it's there. As you swing your sword. So just 1d20. Rolling it regularly.
Yeah, hang on a second. I was get back to it in a second because I had to switch where I was. And now no, that's a D10. No, D20. Yes.
Okay, there's a whole bunch in there. I'm going with the first one.
Sorry.
It might be because you're on your phone and tapping it is a lot different than because it's not intended for mobile. We're gonna go with the first one. It's a 12. You have a +6. That is an 18. So you feel your sword. You feel some resistance as you swing it through the air, and you hear a ghostly screech as that happens. You hit whatever this thing is. Go ahead and roll your damage. You've got that is 2d6 plus 3.
Right. 1, 2.
Yeah,
Plus 3.
that's 12. Um,
Oh wow, that I didn't
yeah,
even know it was 12. Because I've now stuck on the plate.
yeah, 6 plus 3, and then another 3 on top of that. So yeah, you dealt 12 damage to whatever this thing is, and it makes a few more screeching noises as you hear it go back here in the building, past the other tieflings.
Okay, let's see if I can get back to the map without breaking my phone.
It's off to the bottom right in that building from all the tieflings. Actually, no, it's going to go actually just straight south. Actually, I forgot that other part of that building was there. Why do you keep rolling?
Because I'm stuck on the roll screen. Map, come on. Get back to the map. I'm stuck on the roll screen.
All right, well, it went to the south of the building, kind of away from the other tieflings. Do you want Ebron to take a shot?
Yeah, let everyone take a shot while I try and figure out how to get off this.
All right. So he can hear where it's coming from, and let's see, Atari Jack, Ebron, yeah. It's still going to be with disadvantage because you can't see it. He's got Firebolt, so if you want to, if you can, roll a d20 for his Firebolt. By Firebolt.
Yeah, that was good.
He gets a +6, so that's a 12. That might still hit. Yeah, that hits. Damage for that. Yeah, you see the firebolt go across, and when it gets to that spot, it kind of bursts, and you can kind of sort of see a humanoid outline where the fire kind of bursts and goes around it. So roll damage for that. Oh, and it lets out another ghostly scream of pain.
What's the damage dice for that?
2d10. I had to do that from memory.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 3 and 11. Yeah, it lets out a shriek that rattles your bones, and then it stops. And your great sword is no longer pain. Something is going on.
Yeah. Yeah, something's going. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting because I cannot get off the dice roll thing is taking up my entire screen and I can't seem to get it to.
Try reloading the page. That should work.
I'm just rolling. It's causing me to roll 450 different things. Go out and go back into it. Why? Select
Ah. Usual sword. Can you just reload the page?
I can't even get onto. I've literally gone back to Discord. Hang a second. What have I done there? Difficulty. Oh god, I've completely and utterly lost roll 20 now.
Just tap on the address bar and type in roll20.net.
Yeah. I'll just click the link again from my Discord messages. Hold on for technical difficulties.
While you're sorting that out, you hear coming from the doorway to the tavern. I told you to leave this place. And your greatsword starts going off again.
Alright, cool. That has seemed to have fixed the problem. I can now see the map.
Okay. Alright, you're going to scroll over to the tavern and zoom out a teeny bit. In the doorway of the tavern, you see a pale, ghostly apparition of a woman. Let me drop it into the token layer so everyone can see. Definitely looks like the ghost of a deceased woman.
Oh. Yep. Continue explaining things while I just go. Pamphlet. Yes. Come on. That poor tiefling we left all the way into that building. He must be dead too. Oh.
What's that?
Yes, okay. You missed one of the tieflings, but you know.
Where?
Yes, you did. He is.
Oh, whoops. Let's let's bring him back over. My bad. No, he's with this group. There we go. I'll drop him right there. Yeah. So this ghost appears in the doorway, and I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God.
From Jack and Atari and Ebron.
Okay.
So I'm going to do them in that order. Jack, and Atari, Ebron. If you just roll a d20 3 times.
Yes, I was literally going to say maybe you should do that because if I click, I'm scared if I click on this button, I'm going to lose the map again.
You want me to roll your d20 for you?
As I said, I'm scared it's going to crash my phone again.
Here, I'll roll it from your D&D Beyond sheet. There it shows up. So yeah, that's 7 for you. Let's see for Anatari. $14, and Ebron actually has a +5 to his wisdom save. This might actually work. 13. Let me pop back over. So yeah, Ebron and Anatari succeed, but you see this ghost and you are frightened. And yeah, you feel some sort of curse coming over you from this ghost as roll a d4. Oh. So you're about like the tiefling equivalent of like in your 20s. you feel somewhat of a curse come over you from this ghost as you start to age by 40 years. Your hair
Oh,
your hair starts to turn gray. Your skin gets wrinkly. You are now you're now about 60 something years old. Um, all the tieflings around you are looking on in horror as this happens. Ebron and Anatari run up to you to make sure you're okay, and they see that you are um, kind of an old man now. I imagine that's going to anger you quite a bit.
oh yeah.
All right, let's roll for initiative, which I guess I'm doing for you.
Yeah. As I said, sorry guys, I would do it myself, but mobile phone and doing this is, yeah, not the best option.
Alrighty, we got 9 for Jack. And Atari. $11. Oops. And Ebron. Okay. Select Ghost again. Roll initiative. 8. Oh, so that's the exact opposite order. So it goes Ebron, Anatari, Jack, and then the Ghost. Alrighty. So Ebron, what do we want Ebron to do? He's got a quarterstaff, but he also, like I said, has Firebolt.
Yeah, that worked out.
He's got burning hands too. So if he gets in position, he could unleash burning hands on her.
Yeah, let's try burning hands. That sounds good.
Fortunately, the extra sheet does not link to the spells. I believe it's a dexterity save. Burning hands. Yes, dexterity save. Alright, so I'm going to ditch that so I can zoom in on battlefield here. I say battlefield, it's a tavern. Go to Ghost. Dex save. 12, not bad, but I think his spell save DC is a 13. So, yeah, that's not going to help. So we've got. Do you want to do this at first or second level? Because he's got 2 second level spell slots and 4 first level spell slots.
Yeah, let's use a second level spell slot because maybe if we kill the ghost, Jack will turn back to normal.
That's going to be 4d6 for 13 fire damage. The ghost lets out a scream. And you can't see any obvious burns on her because she's a ghost, but yeah, that did a good bit of damage to her. Next up is Anatari. She can use her short bow, she can chuck a dagger at her, or she can go in with her short sword. Or she can use, and she can use a help action to give you advantage on whatever you do next.
Yeah.
So we chucking a dagger, or are we using the short bow? Or going in with the short sword?
What's their hit points like? I probably should be able to see that, but
Who, the ghost?
I know. Well, I know you're not going to tell me that.
That's why I was asking.
Know that. Come on.
Anatari, she's a rogue, so she doesn't have the worst HP, but she, not the highest. Kind of like mid range. She had. If you want numbers, she's got 33 HP compared to your 44, and Ebron's
Oh,
27
okay.
because he's a mage and he's squishy.
Cool. Yeah. If she's proficient in the bow, I'll shoot the bow. Whatever weapon she's proficient in.
So, sorry, I was reading something. You said you want to go with the short bow?
Yep, short bow.
All right. What the crap? Okay. She rolled a 24. That's definitely gonna hit. And that
Nice.
is 7 piercing damage to the ghost, which the arrow is gonna go through. You're gonna see her visage kind of disrupted a little bit, and she looks a little bit angry at that. And Anatari is going to get in position to use the help action for you, which I'm assuming you're going to run up with your greatsword.
Yep.
All right. You run up and you face down the ghost. $21. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Let's roll the damage on that. Actually, I didn't do advantage to see if you crit. Let me see if you crit. You don't crit. Okay. So 12 slashing damage. Your sword goes through her. You feel some resistance, but she lets out another little screech. And she's going to... It's her turn now. She's going to take the disengage action, and she's going to... 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. She's going to run out the door, and she's going to run north. Do you pursue?
Oh yeah. This is not even...
I assume. Do you want Ebron to? Hold on. No, he's not going to get melee. I think that was something like that. Anatari, and then so Ebron, do you want him to use another Burning Hands?
If he can catch her, yes, but if he can't,
Oh, he can. He definitely can.
Yeah, let's use it at level 1 because I'm not sure this is gonna be the end of everything.
Okay.
Let's not use too many second levels. Second level spell slots.
You're smart. Yeah, that's definitely a fail. She's gonna be taking a good bit of damage on that one. 3d6. 13. Yeah, she's hurting as she lets out another scream. Do you want another short bow attack from Anatari?
Wow, while running, yeah, let's try it.
Extra Anatari. $16, that hits, and that's another 8 piercing damage. She looks like she stumbles as she's floating away as the arrow goes through her. You can tell she's hurting pretty bad. 10, 15, 20, 25. And you have just enough movement speed to catch up with her and use your greatsword.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Going to do that. All right. And you want Anatari to use her bonus action for advantage again?
Yep.
All right. 12 and 12. Either one of those would hit. All right, and we've got 13 damage. And as you slash your sword through her, you hear a ghostly wail as her what's the word? I lost the word. It's right. It's like that the tip of the tongue thing. It's the word I used earlier to describe her appearance. I'm just gonna go with her apparition. That's not the right word.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm gonna go with. Her apparition dissolves and disappears as she dies again because she was already dead. And as she dies, you get a momentary reprieve, but you still feel that that the weight of the air that hasn't gone away.
This place is haunted.
Now, do you head back to the tavern? Do you go north to see where she was going? What do you do?
She's a ghost. She could have been going anywhere. I'm going to go with my first place. This place is haunted. Do we have any clerics among our people?
No, you just got yourself a little mage and a rogue, and then a bunch of commoners.
Okay. None of them are a priest.
No, none of them are priests.
Who forgot the holy man? I'm gonna need someone to pray over some bones in a minute. You knew where I was heading with that one. Yeah, let's go see where she would.
You want to see where she was headed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see where she just was headed. Am I still like 60?
Yes, you're still 60. You're gonna need some healing magic to fix that. So
Wonderful.
Yeah, do you take both Anatari and Ebron with you? Do you bring any of the commoners? What do you do? Or do you just tell them to batten down the hatches and you'll be right back?
Well, that worked so well last time. Honestly, at this point, being in this, the ghosts are attacking anyone in the actual city. We might have to take the commoners outside the wall and have them pitch tents when they stop feeling the heavy wind, and then come back, because leaving them there sounds like a bad idea.
Okay. So you want to take the commoners outside the city for their safety?
Yeah.
All
well,
right. Let me.
The ghosts will literally. Ghosts can go through walls, battering down. There's nothing they could. Yeah, they need to go outside the city.
Okay. And then do you, Ebron, and Anatari come back and investigate?
Yeah, we're gonna basically. Yeah, definitely, because we're not. I am not. This. I'm not getting scared off by these guys. We're gonna. First thing I need. I'm gonna say, let's. Maybe if we bury the bones of the dead, they will leave us alive.
All right. So you start to head north from the tavern.
Cool.
One of my right ear keeps falling out. And again, as before, the farther north you go, the heavier the air feels. Do you keep going?
Yes. The source of the goat. I'm actually going to follow the source. I'm actually going to keep wherever the most heaviest area of the if I turn left and it's less heavy, then I'm going to immediately just follow the heavy sense. I'm going to actually, because that I think that's where the source of all this is coming from.
Okay, you're quite the smart D&D player. So a few things you figured out either intentionally or unintentionally, like having the great sword. It's a perfect choice for this. So as you go farther north, it gets heavier and heavier. If you go off to the right, like where the guy that died. If you go off to the right towards that way, it actually gets less lighter is the word. It actually gets lighter that way. But if you head up here, if you keep going, like if you go past the bridge and keep going up to that building up there, it's kind of about the same. But if you turn left towards the bridge, it gets heavier.
Hmm. And if I could get the map to move that way to look at it, it would be wonderful. I'm doing a lot. I had it working so well before, and then it just basically went.
I'll try to set the scene for you. The bridge is from end to end about 75, 80 feet long. And if you got towards the center of the bridge, that's basically right over the river. And 30 feet north of that is the big water wheel. And one of the smaller water wheels is, if you're facing north, it's right behind you. And the big wheel is to the south, and the big wheel is towards the north. Do you go out onto the bridge?
Does everyone have that cantrip where he can make a hand come out of nowhere and test things like it opens?
He has mage hand, yes.
Yes. I'll ask him to cast that and tap the bridge with it before we cross it.
Ebron moves his hands around, performing somatic components, says a couple arcane words, and this invisible mage hand, he conjures it, and you can't see the hand, obviously, but he sends it out to check like you asked, and he says, the bridge seems stable.
Excellent, we will cross the bridge then. And it collapses underneath your weight.
No, as you get to the middle of the bridge, the air starts to feel heavy to the point where, like, if you were to try to jump, you wouldn't be able to jump as high as normal. Like, it's actually heavy enough to affect you in small ways. And if you keep going across past the center of the bridge, the air gets lighter again.
Right, so whatever's happening is in the middle of that bridge. So, yeah. I'm gonna look into the river at that point, and I do expect I'm going to see Bone. He has light, doesn't he, Ebron?
He has light, yes.
Could he cast that over the water so we can see better?
He would have to cast it on an object, but yeah, okay. He could cast it on his quarterstaff, and that could light it up. But yeah, he can hold his staff up over the water.
Yeah, that's fine, because I expect we are going maybe with the light. Hopefully, we that there's bones in there. A big pile of dead villages.
You don't see bones, but you do see under the water. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. There we go. If I can make that bigger, she said. Actually, I'll just zoom in. Hey, what's it look like on the stream? You see, can you see the map yet? Did you fix that?
I see a sliver of the map. I've actually been able to find. I've still got like the turn order on one side and the roll20 on the other. Pro tip: do not play this on my file unless you've got the app.
If you can Yeah, if you can scroll over to where the water wheel is, and then zoom out a
Yeah.
little bit. I clicked on it, so you should see it. Is there an image of a black ghostly figure?
Nope.
Okay. Well, damn, that should be on your screen somewhere. Let me.
Are we looking at the big water wheel?
Yeah, I think it's just a Roll20 thing being stupid. Let me. Close that. I'm actually bringing the image in instead of just loading it from the Roll20 sidebar. There we go.
Oh, what? Oh.
this ghostly black. That it's not that big. I just have it that big to show you. It's actually not much taller than your average humanoid, but you see this ghostly wraith-like figure. It's not a wraith, but Ebron immediately recognizes what it is from his magical studies. It is an Alep. It is an undead that harbors a dark secret. And when his quarterstaff illuminates the river and you see him under the water, he flies up out of the water. And I told you to leave this place. It's not safe for mortals. What do you do?
I can negotiate. Oh, let's see if I can talk this thing down. Because not every. Yeah, right. Let's try to talk this thing down. What even do I say to this thing?
Yeah, as you say, maybe as you say to Ebron and Anatari, maybe we should talk to it. Ebron looks at you and says, "What are you going to say to that thing?"
Honestly, it wants us to leave. We need to be here. This needs to be a tiefling capital. We need this place to be our new home. There we go.
No mortals have lived here for 5 years. I have made sure of that. You must leave.
Rock hard place.
Lord Illuminous Pooh, PhD, wants you to try to intimidate the Alec.
By waving my greatsword at it.
Do you want to try to intimidate it?
Yeah, let's. Why not?
Oh boy, I don't expect this to go well at all.
No,
You're a fighter.
but
You're a fighter.
honestly,
So
I think this negotiation's probably going to break down very quickly because we need this city.
you're a fighter. So I'll let you use strength for your intimidation stat. So let's throw that roll over there. Oh. As you try to convince the Alep in an intimidating way that this city is going to be yours now, he floats up a little bit, but he also backs up about 5 feet. And it seems like it's working.
Oh, excellent.
And then Ebron says, "Enough of this." And a crackling purple orb of eldritch energy fires out from his hand at the Alec. This surprises you, as you've never seen him use an Eldritch Blast before. And you do know, being from hell and everything, that in order to have access to that kind of magic, you need to have a Warlock Pact. You quickly deduce that it's most likely with a devil, because you're from hell, but you can't be sure. But as this is all floating through your head, you're really confused as to why Ebron, 1, has this power, and 2, interrupted a negotiation that seemed like it was going fine. And the Alep becomes quite angry, and I need you to roll for initiative again.
Cool.
I'm so proud of you. You were doing the thing that players never do. You were trying to talk it out, but everyone had different plans.
Yeah. I sometimes do that in my DMs. Like, you know, slaughter is not always the answer. Sometimes you can talk yourself out of a situation.
Alright. Ebron got an 8 and Atari got a 9. And just let me roll for you. Oh, nice. You got a 16, and the Alep is gonna get 5. All right, Jack. The Alep is floating over the water, but
I can't even reach him.
I'm not gonna be an asshole. In his anger, he rushes towards the bridge, so he's within range.
Oh, and
I'm not gonna make it possible for you to hit him.
Well, actually, I was going to insult him and bang my and move west toward the ground, hoping to blow him to a place I could hit him. But sure, I will take that.
All right.
One of the things I've got on my sheet is action surge.
Yeah, so you can hit. So you're you're a fighter. I've only been having you hit once. I forgot you're level 5. You can actually swing your sword twice per attack. I forgot about that. My bad. You could have taken it. You could have taken out that ghost a little bit quicker. Not much quicker, but so you get 2 attacks, and then your action surge. What you can do is after you take your action and swing your sword twice, you can use your action surge and do it again.
Yeah.
Then you get one action. To do that. You get 1 action surge per short rest. So right, yeah. So you can only do this once.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna do 4 great sword attacks, right?
Yep.
As this thing rushes you, you start swinging wildly. Actually, he rushes Ebron because he's the one who did that, but still within your reach. Just realized it made no sense for him to rush you instead of Ebron. 16.
Ooh. No, it's not good.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. You, as a samurai, if anybody catches that one, you have fighting spirit. So as a bonus action, you can give yourself advantage on weapon attack rolls until the end of the current turn. So if you want to use that, if you want to do that before you make your attacks, you can do each one with advantage.
Yeah. Why not?
So that one, let's see, what did I do for that? So that one was a 16, and that's going to hit the Alep. Your next one. Oh, that's definitely going to hit. That's a 22. Let's see if you crit. No, but that one's higher. The 25. The first one hits. The second one hits. The third one's going to hit. Let's see if you crit. And then the fourth one. These rolls are coming up pretty good for you. Oh, 12 doesn't hit. Does this last one hit? There you go. All 4 of them hit. So that's...
Ooh!
Yeah. $14.
Cut.
Why did it only roll 1d6? Alright, 12, 14. D&D Beyond's being done. 13. Wow. And hey, these rolls are coming up really, really good. Except for that last one. Why did it do that? There we go. 11. 12, 14, 13, and 11.
12, 13, 14.
Okay, so that's going to be 50? Am I doing that math right? 14, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That's 50 damage to the Alip there. He's gonna scream out a good bit in pain.
Yeah.
It's not its turn yet. I can't have him back up. Crap. And Atari is a bit shocked by Ebron's actions, and as you are wailing on the Alip, she's gonna walk over to Ebron and ask him, "What did you do?" She's referring to how he got the power. And Ebron's face is just stone cold. It's just all business right now. She's going to walk around to the other side of him and try to get her short sword out at the Alip. Yeah, but it's gonna move out of the way. That's not gonna hit. And it's Ebron's turn. He's gonna look at Anatari. He's gonna look at you. And then look at the Alip. He's gonna, I say take a step back, but that'll give him that attack of opportunity. I was gonna have him step back for flavor, but he doesn't move 5 feet back. He does kind of step back on his heel, and you see as he brings his hands together, you see the purple crackling energy again, and he fires an Eldritch Blast directly at the Alip in front of him, which is going to mean disadvantage because it's a ranged attack, but still. Yeah. Anatari is looking on in horror at this because she had no idea he'd made some sort of pact.
I don't really understand enough about Tieflings to be super. I'm like, is this bad? I'm getting why you're telling this is not a good thing.
Warlocks, the pact that a warlock makes does not have to be bad, but he grew up in hell, so it's a bit concerning that he now has these powers and never told you about them. Oh, that was a critical hit, but it's with disadvantage, so what does the other 20 come up? If that's a 1, I'm gonna... Okay, 10 plus 6, yeah, that's gonna hit. And he's level 5, so that's actually 2 orbs that launch out at him. For... What is Eldritch Blast? Eldritch Blast 2d10? I think it's a 2d10. My brain doesn't. My brain is not remembering. Yeah, okay. It's 1d10 for each beam. Okay, so that is 2d10. Yeah, wow, that was a good hit.
9 out of 10, 19 damage. God, that is not good for the creature. It's taken the quite a bit of beating.
No. Yeah, that Eldritch Blast sends it flying back about 5 feet, and you can see these black shadowy wisps of negative energy that have been basically keeping its form they start to deteriorate and to dissolve and disappear. And as that happens, it, it moves up to you, and you can feel it grab your arm. It reaches out and grabs your arm, and you hear its mouth isn't moving, but you hear it whispering in your head. Its mouth isn't moving because its mouth is disappearing, but you hear it whispering in your head words that they don't sound like words. They don't make sense. It's some sort of, it's either a language or it's just not. It's either a language you don't understand or it's just having trouble articulating its words. But these whispers, I feel like they're infecting your mind, and it's going to be another wisdom saving throw. Hopefully,
Because I'm great at those.
hopefully you don't fail miserably on that, because I don't want this to end on a bad note, because we got about 10 minutes left.
Come on.
Oh, good. 14. We're good. You needed a 14 and you just got a 14. You start to feel these whispers. You feel a madness start to come over you, but you're able to resolve your will and you fight it off. But those whispers, the words, the jumbled, garbled words are still floating around in your head. Oh, you didn't go mad. That's a good thing. But the Alip withers away and disappears, and that weight in the air finally lifts. Before you even have a chance to analyze what's going on, Ebron starts marching off to the bridge back towards the tavern. You follow?
I have questions for him.
as does Anatari. As he's power walking at this point. He with purpose. I should probably move the map on the screen there. Zoom out a little bit.
I'm looking forward to rewatching this where I can actually see the bloody thing.
They march towards the tavern. As they get closer to, oh right, everyone's out of the city. So not the tavern. He's going to keep going out of the city to the other tieflings. So what are you saying to him as you're trying to chase him down?
Well, I would like him to just slow the hell down so we can at least have a conversation while we walk, and then I'm literally going to ask him who he made the pact with and why he's decided he couldn't tell us about this.
And you're saying he doesn't respond. He's completely silent. But you say that last part as he starts to get closer to this group of tieflings, and they start to whisper amongst themselves, having heard that. And you hear one of them say out loud, a pact? Ebron made a pact, and it's just like, almost like, nervous whispers going throughout the group. And Ebron stops in front of them, which gives you a chance to catch up with him. I imagine you're getting in his face, and you're being a bit belligerent because he won't respond.
Actually, because I'm not sure what these packs are, but all this, because I haven't come across it, but I'm gonna trust my instincts and put myself between him and the other tieflings.
Okay.
Because I'm not. Yeah.
You do that, and Anatari is kind of getting in his face. She's a bit Lord Illuminous Pooh said, "Try oi cockbite." Whatever that means. Okay. He's completely distracted by that. All right. That's being weird. Oh yeah, Anatari's getting up in his face, yelling at him, and he doesn't hit her, but he sort of pushes her back a little bit and says, "Stand down," and then looks at you and says, "Both of you." Neither one of
I
you.
will be happy for him to explain himself. I'm not an unreasonable person.
He says, says, "Neither one of you had the courage to do what I did." He steps forward, looks you dead in the eye, and then walks around you without a word. Looks at the group of tieflings and says, "I am claiming this city for the Prince of Hell, Lord Asmodeus. You have two choices. Leave or kneel."
Who is Prince Asmodeus?
Asmodeus is the ruler of Infernus. The ruler of hell.
Right,
Jack would definitely know that. Yeah.
Is he a bad ruler?
He's lawful evil. He's bad. He's bad. He's very bad.
I always wondered how you could be lawfully evil, actually. I will have a discussion with Timo.
You're evil, but not. You don't just do whatever you want because you have reasons for what you're doing. You have and in the case of the devils, you have a strict code, so to speak, that you adhere to. But it's really twisted. Like, it might seem chaotic to some people, but the devils have a strict way that they operate and do things. Hence, pacts, deals, contracts, things like that. But yes, when he says the Prince of Hell, Lord Asmodeus, this should be setting off huge alarm bells with you. This is not a good thing.
Okay. As I said, I don't know enough about the packaging of tieflings to react. Right, so Jack's gonna say that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And if this is for all tieflings on the surface, not some deity that is gonna rule from a censure from the nine hells.
Ebron turns and looks at you and says, "He will rule through me. Now leave or kneel."
Okay, out comes the great sword. It's like, out comes the great sword. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Out comes your great sword, and he says, "So you choose death." As his hands start to crackle with purple eldritch energy. And that's where we're going to end.
Yes.
Let's slap a big old to be continued graphic on that, because I think we've got something good going.
Yeah. Yeah. That was quite surprising at the end. as I said, I can't expect. I didn't know enough about the Hidsley, but my instincts were screaming at me to put myself in front of all the other tieflings because I'm not sure what this guy's gonna do.
All right, so as our first Patreon supporter and this first Patreon one shot, did you enjoy that? I'm asking you, Throw Dwarf. Did you enjoy that?
Oh yeah, that was really quite enjoyable.
Yes.
Apart from all the technical issues,
Right.
yeah, but I just use fear to for the mind for most of it. I'm really looking forward to going back and actually watching the rerun to see what actually was going on. But
that being said, did I do a good enough job like bringing it up as theater of the mind for you? Like you were still able to get a grasp on what was going on?
Yeah, I was able to move the phone enough for to get a gist near the beginning to get a gist of where everything was. So it worked. Not very well, but it worked.
Okay. And do you? I want to ask this, live, just maybe to perhaps inspire others to join the Hobgoblin Warlord tier. Do you feel like you got your money's worth from that?
Yeah, I feel like I got my money's worth.
Sweet.
But honestly, it's not real. I'm not supporting you just for this tier just for that.
Oh, I know, and trust me, we appreciate all the support you've given us. But I want to make it worth, because you are spending that extra money. This is one of the perks. I want to make it worth it, and I'm very happy that I did.
I was gonna be funny and go, you actually owe me a second NPC because I'm at this level.
I technically do, actually.
Yes,
I technically do. The second we will do that, but just keep in mind, I'm gonna for going forward, I'm gonna try and keep to the original idea of it, which is you give me a name and a personality, and I'll work it in. Because how do I describe it? Yeah, I tried to go like above and beyond with bringing in Luna and Yuki and everything. Because you were the first Patreon supporter, because you supported the channel so much.
I wasn't expecting another Yuki and Luna.
All right. Well, is 9:01? I know we got to a little bit of a late start for technical issues. You're not if we we ending now. You don't feel like you got like gypped at all from a little bit of time, do you?
Yeah, it's literally the sun's basically just broken the horizon for me. So, and my girlfriend just got up, so it's good timing to end. So
all right, works for me. All right. So I had an intro for this. I didn't make an outro because I forgot. So I'll just roll the intro for a little bit and fade it out. But
all right then. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, thank you. All that stuff. All right, everybody. Like Throw the Door said. Thanks for watching. Come back Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern U.S., 9 p.m. UK, for episode 19 of Globers and Goblins. Nowhere to Hide. I was trying to remember the name of the episode. Episode 19, Ice Cold Freedom, Nowhere to Hide. And yes, FTFE will be back. He's confirmed to me that he will be back. So join us then. And everybody, have a good night.